Hello there everyone, and welcome back to Shogun 2 Fall of the Samurai with the Total Fots, or Total Fall of the Samurai mod, which sets the European imperial powers, or puts them into Fall of the Samurai. So that's what we're looking at today. So I've already done most of the factions, so we're actually going back and looking at two that I've already done an early video on, which is the German and the French. Obviously with the updates to the current one, to the latest version of this. There's artillery, there's new units and so forth. So I decided this probably needed an update to take a look at these. Also, I'm kind of ran out of all the other factions because I've already done the English versus the Russians, and I did the Dutch versus the Koreans, and who else did I do? Well, I more or less have done everyone, so it's back to doing the Prussian and the French. There were some people that wanted me to do the Russo-Japanese war, which I really liked the idea. And there are Fall of the Samurai faction that has the sort of color scheme of those black and yellow uniforms that they would have had during that time period, or really, I believe there was probably more than just the black and yellow, but the black and yellow uniform is probably what you would probably think about, or at least when I think about it, it usually comes to that uniform. Partly because there's a movie I saw on YouTube that... Anyways, the problem with this is that all the Fall of the Samurai faction has been overwritten by Prussia and France and Great Britain and so forth. And so there are none. There are, however, the Sacho Alliance and the Northern Alliance, but they have basically the same army structure as the Koreans have, if you remember from the Korean video. So the best sort of imperialist unit they have are those Dutch infantry units, which wouldn't really work because they have those like very typical kind of ish looking straw hats, almost, of sort of these Asian rice paddy hats. So that wouldn't really work, but I really like the idea, and hopefully as this mod progresses, the Japanese will be getting sort of those units back and so forth, or it will improve in that manner. Anyways, in this one we're looking at the Germans versus the French, which have set up over here. A very nice map. I really like this map. It doesn't really work though. There's a lot of these bridges that don't work. So originally I hadn't planned of going from this way towards the French over here. I had planned on going from this way, fighting back and forth over town, hopefully setting fire to the town, making kind of a spectacle of that. Unfortunately, a lot of these bridges don't really work, and so that's really unfortunate. With that said, however, let's go ahead and start. So I guess as the battle progresses, I'll be able to take a look at most of these units. So for this, I've actually gone ahead and picked unique units for every single unit. So every single unit you see here is every single unit the Prussians currently field. So there's quite a lot of them. I think there's actually 20. So you can feel that for the Prussians at least, they have enough. So they have 20 different units. So basically a full stack army. Actually not really a full stack army, because I think this is the other 20. So it's not really 20 then, it's like maybe 15. I'm not going to count them right now. But there's a lot, you can see that there's a lot of them. Right, so let's go ahead and start this. So the frog is over here, and I've done the same for the Frenchies. So each French unit is almost unique. The thing is, the French don't really have as many units as the Prussians do, so not all of these are unique units. But let's start with these guys, because these guys are kind of far from the action. and they'll try to march over here. I don't think they can cross this bridge though, so we'll see if I order them over here. Marching along this road. So these are all the guard infantry units. So the first one up is the life guard unit, having that sort of typical grenadier hat. Very nice. After them, we've got the Bavarian Grenadiers, which have the sort of more French style bear skin. Next to them is the Hanoverian Guards, which kind of had that sort of almost light infantry feel. I normally think of this with a little whatever it's called on the front there as the light infantry, or it kind of looks like that. And then we have the Hessian Guards. And also note that each unit here has its own flag, which I really like the fact that detail. So they all have, so the Hanoverians have the Hanoverian flag and so forth. So there's not a single unit that doesn't have its own flag. Right, we're gonna move these guys forward. Also, I want you guys to kind of try and figure out what battlefield this is, because it is a famous battlefield, but it's not for the Franco-Prussian War, I'll tell you that. And that's about all I'm going to tell you. With that, we're moving forward the line infantry on this side, so we've got quite the column over here. We've got the Württembergers, or Württemberg, coming first. Rather nice unit, I must say. And then you can kind of guess, probably, given by the flag, that this is the Bavarians. So a Bavarian unit with sort of that sort of almost sort of going back to the Greeks in the ancient time with this sort of comb on their head. And then we've got not the Bavarians but the Hanoverians. You can see they probably recognize the Hanoverian horse there. And then after them we've got the Marines. So Prussian Marines. After the Marines, if we go all the way down here, here is a bit more cramped, but we've got the Brunswickens, which you probably recognize with that death skull and the cross and bones. And I guess we're not going to look at these guys just now, since they're all cramped up down there. And instead we can look at the light infantry, which I am going to order in advance forward here towards the French lines. So the Prussians have just 3 units of light infantry, 3 different kinds. While I think the French they have a lot more. They have, I think, 5, maybe 6 different light infantry units. So first up, the Bavarian light infantry with a lighter blue color with yellow facings. Rather nice unit there. Next to them, we've got the Jaegers from Saxony with a sort of darker green color, black facings, and then a little red there as well. And then over here we've got the Prussian Jaegers, which has a dark green with the red facings. Nice unit. These are followed up by infantry units. So we got the Nassau infantry over here, dark green uniform, rather nice. And they're also followed up by an infantry unit. So this is the normal Prussian infantry of the time marching forwards here. And next to them is the Prussian Grenadiers, the marching forwards to victory. So they're probably gonna come across the bridge here at this point. Gonna tell them to spread out a little bit, see if we can maybe get them to split up a bit, and in that way have an easier time in looking at these units. We've got the general here as well. One thing is, the general for the French, they actually have a specific general, so a historical general. We'll take a look at him later on. So we got the Brunswickens, we've already seen those. We've got the Oldenburg infantry, and behind them we've got the Hessian infantry. coming up there, and the last unit here is Saxon line infantry unit. And here we got the German general coming up. General and his staff. Let's see if we can actually... Oh, I believe we have started coming on the fire. Quite heavy fire as well. It is the Marines that were hit. So time to move into line and hide here in the forest. So yeah, we're getting hit by the French artillery at this point, so I really need to respond with my own artillery. We're gonna get the 12-pounder guns. I really want them actually over here, so see if I can make them go over there, and then we can see about the howitzers. Gonna have to move quite far ahead if they actually want to reach the enemy. Continue the advance though, men. Even though we're advancing into heavy fire at this point. Damn, when they fired at those guys in column, absolutely slaughter the guys, unfortunately. But we kind of know how far the enemy can fire, so we're not going to push the general all the... Oh, you know what? I forgot a unit. I said I'd looked at everyone, but we forgot the colonial infantry. So here's the colonial line infantry. With that said, hopefully we can get the cannons to get into position quick and start shelling the French back. And as we're able to start shelling them back, I can take the time to actually start looking at the French unit. Ah, we are within range. So let's set up their howitzers and prepare to shell the enemy. See here if everyone's ready. This one's ready. Unlimber. And open fire. Right. Clearly we cannot just stand there, so continue to march forwards here towards that hill. While we get the howitzers to start blasting the enemy. The 12-pounder guns. Got a nice view here on the hill. And they should be able to lay down quite a bit of hurt on the enemy. And now our cannons are returning fire on the French howitzers. But I want to make sure that I get this right with all the cannons, as we're coming under quite the fire here. So light infantry, I want you to move into the forest, and the infantry should hold sort of on the back slope there on the hill. That'll be nice. And looks as though my cannons should be ready. I think this one seems a little bit... Yes, it's bugged out. It happens sometimes. I know it happened quite a bit in the campaign. Sometimes. I think it's due to the wall here that's bugging with the cavalry. So this cannon is unfortunately... that's not going to help us anything. Right, with that, let's go ahead over and take a look at the French as my army slowly creeps forward to fight the bastards. There we go, the 12-pounders open up. So we're probably not going to be seeing every single unit of the French, because a lot of their forces might be hiding, but here we've got the Voltigeurs of the 2nd Legion. Here we got the Grenadiers, so normal French Grenadiers. Next to them we've got the normal Voltigeurs. I don't think these are the kind of voltigeurs that go into skirmish formation though. This seems like just the light infantry. Here's some marines. Here's some dead marines. Here's some dead artillery. What do we have here? Fusiliers of the Legion. So they have two different kinds of these Fusiliers. So the First Legion and the Second Legion. And here's some more Fusiliers. So the French didn't have enough units to match the German in terms of the different kinds of units. I had to add a double for a few of them. So here's some skirmishers. Here's some guard Zouaves. And as we continue, colonial French line infantry. Guard chasseurs also got these sort of Zouave pants. There's the guards. I think this is the guard genie. It might be the light infantry guards because there's the guard grenadiers, more fusiliers. There's the second grenadiers of the Second Legion. Here's the grenadier guards. I think I have 2 of those. The French only has 3 guards compared with the Germans that have 3, or the Prussians that have 3. We've got some more Zouaves over here, although these are not guards. And as we continue, there's Algerian tirailleurs. So I believe these are the ones that can actually form skirmish line. We've got guard voltigeurs, and to the furthest we've got more grenadiers, guard grenadiers. So it looks as though the enemy has put most of its heavy troops on that side, or its high skilled troops, I might say. So at this point we're really wrecking their artillery, or we have killed off all the horses and we're blowing them to bits. My men are hiding mostly in the forest, and the troops that are marching up here have not suffered too many casualties except for the marines, but they were of course shot as they were marching into that blistering fire. So looking at my lineup, it's you know what, didn't I move? Yes, my guard units, I forgot those. So it was, this area is kind of open compared to what the French have here, so they could wrap around this and also attack the cannons over here, which would be nasty. And they have a strong center, but coming against my guys in the forest here would be not so good, I imagine, for the French, as we know what happened when the Russians tried to attack like that. We're gonna send the Brunswickens over here just to support in the forest. So they're gonna be holding in the forest there, while all of these guys are gonna try to make a line sort of through this forest, hopefully, and hold this side of the hill. And then the guard will be coming in. Oh, the French are now advancing. So the guard will be moving this way and then that way to attack here. So it looks like now the French are just reorganizing their lines. They're not actually attacking. Oh, this artillery is almost breaking. So we have done good work breaking down their artillery. The thing is though, we're kind of running out of shot for the howitzers. So I kind of want to start blasting the enemy line infantry instead, especially the guys out in the open here. So we want to blast them rather than focusing in a lot on oh, they're going in for the attack. We're gonna let them get closer though, so we're gonna hold fire until they get well within range. suppression fire. And fire frei! They're opening up fire from the forest, and now the troops in the back are opening fire as well. Oh, the French! They're charging! They're charging the light infantry. This might not go too well for me. And these guys are not even ready. I want you guys into line immediately. The French are just charging. Holy shit. Hold the position and open fire, goddamn you. Silly Frenchmen. Grenadiers are charging straight into the Brunswickens. And looks like we got melee going on all over the place. Oh, they've sent my Bavarian skirmishers away. Probably sent most of my skirmishers away. Charging through here. And as they've done that, they're now stopping to open fire on the line infantry holding on the far end there of the forest, and there's not enough infantry to hold off the enemy. Not entirely sure what unit this is. Looks like the Marine actually. And what's this? This is Colonial. This is not actually going very well for me at this point. The French are breaking us apart. I'm calling an immediate retreat, and the guards need to come in immediately. So the French have just pushed us straight out of the forest there. And it looks like this is not going too well. We're gonna have to regroup around the artillery. The enemy artillery is not even firing at us anymore, I don't think. The French are continuously charging after us. We have quite a few units rallying, but we want to keep that distance from the French units so we can rally on the other side of the river here. And also I kind of want to set up in Jesus Christ, they've just completely overrun us. I wasn't expecting this. I put the AI to be on the highest difficulty, which usually actually goes pretty well. Okay, hold there in the forest, or try to at least. Gonna have to send the general over here, see if we can help. We've got the French general, Napoleon III, charging into the Saxon infantry. Into line, good gentlemen. General versus general.
Your men are routing, sir.
Guard volunteers, counter charge. Nice charge there by my men.
Your general is under attack.
Crap, the colonial line infantry is pulling back. General versus general. But the thing is, I'm about to lose my general. Because Napoleon is shooting him down. Am I winning here? Slightly. Not for long though. Ah, the French were broken as they charged the artillery. That's good. At least we're holding something somewhere. And it looks like I'm going to be able to shoot down Napoleon. We still have the guards though. We've got a few French units over here marching back to the artillery. We want to swing in towards these guys. We've got to be careful though as we march forwards here. We've got another French unit coming in. Oh no, they're shooting for my general. I did tell these guys to fire canisters. We'll see if they're actually able to oh! They broke before they got there.
Sir. The enemy general is dead.
Napoleon III has fallen. Tell the infantry to fall back. I have the line infantry and the grenadiers, and I've got the general left. Holy shit, I was not expecting it to go like this. You're getting fired upon by the Zouaves over there. Ooh, come on! Boom! Pretty devastating, but not enough. That unit must be broken.
One of your units can no longer fire, General.
Oh, they were broken. Nice. Why can you no longer fire? Oh, well that was stupid. Right, so we've got a large portion of the enemy coming from this direction, or over there. So the guard will sweep through towards that side. I can't move this. You know, yes, I can actually. So we want to move the artillery to try and get better angles on the enemy here. So it's 36 grenadiers trying to hold off quite the large advance. Canister, if you please. Nice. Set up. Try not to shoot our own men. Canister, if you please, on those fusiliers. Oh, it's going to be synchronized by 3 cannons. Boom! They're firing though on this. Jesus Christ! The amount of casualties they were able to inflict on the lifeguard. And they only pushed 1 volley into us. Canister will save us! Canister will save the day. Right, these guys. If I could get an angle through the forest here, we could come over the ridge, the hill there, to blast the enemy. Okay, these two. I want them to hold fire. This one's canister shot. This one is shrapnel. Oh, for some reason they don't want to fire. I guess it's up to these guys then. We've got canister. I can unload through these units, and that will hopefully be rather nice. And with that said, these units should push forwards and attack the enemy. Right, I want canister on that one, and I think it's high time to actually unleash the canister on that unit right there. Ooh, this is gonna be good. No! Why are you? You are a failure to the fatherland. Oh, there we go. Maybe not so much of a failure, but...
Unit, sir.
Oh shit! Guard Grenadiers. We got enemy coming into the flank. Rather than stand here taking fire, Bavarian Grenadiers, the Hessians are taking fire from the flank. Charge in! And we'll move quickly. Fire over there. I guess these will be left as just guarding the cannons. Did I tell? Yes, I told these guys to hold fire. Now open fire again. Concentrate on the troops coming out of there. Ooh, maybe you guys will hold fire to not try to shoot down my Bavarian guard. Right, so it's back to the hill we first held. We need to hold in the forest though to protect ourselves. And we're gonna need support. Do we reach that? The general is on his way. And I want the 12 pounders to focus in on the heavy units, or the bigger units, I should say. Nice. Let's see if we can use some abilities there to strengthen the guards. Encourage them, rally, and then we'll wait for to use Inspire when the others come closer. So right now they're slowly just walking straight into our fire, which is perfect. Holy shit, if I did not have the guards, I mean the French would have just run straight through me. I was not expecting that kind of a tactic, that they would just charge straight in and just wipe everything away. And it seemed to have gone very well for them, and they sort of caught me off guard as well. A lot of my troops were massacred through that. There aren't a lot of French units left. It seems as though they're continuously trying to do the tactic. We've got 100 Fusiliers, but now it's not really gonna work because, well, we have the superior numbers.
Your victory is close, sir.
Oh, there we go. Victory was achieved, but damn. Because it started off at such a slow pace, but then all of a sudden the French just came across. And I thought they were just gonna, as per usual, just walk straight into the fire. So the French took quite a lot of casualties, marching forwards here. But not nearly as much as what happened once they actually... I mean, here's a lot of French dead troops. But I mean, they were able to just smash straight through all my line infantry with these charges and stuff. You can see the banners. I really like the fact that they're sort of standing up there, showing sort of, here is where this regiment fell and here's where that regiment fell. And we can see the Bavarian flags, both of them were lost right here. However, as we can see, the French lost moving in here as well, so we can see a French flag standing right there. We got another one out there. I thought they were gonna lose more men charging across, but damn. And then my retreat there, I just really panic retreat when we can see what's here, the Württembergers, and just pulling everyone back. And as we pulled back, the French pulled up here, held this position, and just massacred my troops in the retreat. We can see a lot of dead German troops here, which probably would have, if I wouldn't have panicked, there probably would have been a lot better ways to send my troops. But I was not expecting the French to just go for like a, bayonet shock and just absolutely annihilate my front lines within seconds. Jesus. That was interesting, and I really liked the fact that it was a bit challenging there, because I wasn't expecting that kind of tactic from the enemy. So from now on, I'm always gonna make sure that I put it on the highest difficulty. The thing is, I haven't really thought that mattered, because I don't think it really matters in the other games, or when you can sort of put the AI strength, because normally you do it for campaign. I don't think I've ever really contemplating doing it for custom. But yeah, there we have it. Hopefully you guys enjoy this, and hopefully the update with the cavalry will be coming soon, because with a complete set of troops, I could, do reenact different battles and stuff. Since there are a lot more custom maps and stuff for Shogun 2, there is a possibility of that. However, there isn't a lot of European battlefield maps, but hopefully with this mod, a lot of people will start making maps. But I'm not entirely sure how many people make maps for Shogun 2 anymore. Anyways, with that said, before I leave off, I want to say again, if you managed to figure out what battlefield this is, we'll take a look from the sky here a bit. Maybe you can see what battlefield it is. Anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and hopefully I'll see you guys for the next one. Bye!